NCSoft's new quarterly release is here, and we have a lot of information from all their games, particularly Guild Wars 2 and Throne of Liberty, and the future of them. So in this video, we're going to go through everything that happened and what we can expect from these games in the future. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi. If you want to support my content, go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning, and let's get into it. So here are the quarter one earnings release from NCSoft. We have a lot of information, and we're going to go through everything. So first of all, the main thing I'm interested about is PC online games. Mobile games, nobody cares about them, okay? It seems that legacy online PC games have declined 11% from the last quarter. And you can see that most of the games here, like Lineage, Lineage 2, Aeon, and Blade & Soul, are pretty similar in earnings as last quarter. But Guild Wars 2 isn't. They did 24, I think it's trillion won, let's say, Korean won, and they went to 19 on this quarter. And this is actually not good at all, because this should be a big boost on the quarterly earnings for Guild Wars 2, considering that Giant Wild's expansion should be in this quarter. And we know this because every time an expansion gets released on August, which is more or less the time that it usually gets launched, like Secrets of the Obscure, the earnings of the pre-orders and the actual bots sales, that's the word, of this expansion appear in the following two quarters. You can see here Secrets of the Obscure being released on quarter 3, 2023, and the earnings are here and here, then going down again. And for Giant Wilds, this was the same case. Quarter 4, you can see the pre-orders, and I'm guessing a few of the sales, and it's huge boost. And then we should have seen the same thing in here as well, and it's the complete opposite. It actually went down. So it seems like Giant Wilds is not doing very, very good, which is kind of surprising because it was not that bad of an expansion. We got raids, we got homesteads, and we have gotten an insane amount of new gems or items that people swipe their credit card for in order to get. So this is a little bit worrisome for sure. And it pains me to say, but it does seem like it's a little bit of the raid's fault. The raid is too hard. Not a lot of people really go for it, and there's a lot of effort put into it, even though not that many people play it. The story is not that good. We don't have that much of it. The raid bosses are the same ones we get in open world. Even the raiders don't really like this raid that much, and it seems like all this effort that Arena put into this content, it was not really worth putting the effort into it. And now they're paying for that. It's a nice try, but even the race to World First was kind of meme because the encounter was not very fun, and they had to do this very specific kind of meme of like killing themselves on purpose inside of the in the game in order to get stacks and then run every time. It was just not the best Worlds to First race ever, and it really ruined a lot of the cool things that an event like this, and specifically the raid, which I'm guessing that's the main reason why they did the raid, in order to have an event like this. It was not good at all. It was very bad. Not to say that Guild Wars 2 is dead or anything like that, that's not the case, and we're going to go through a little bit of that later on the video, so don't worry, but they're going to have to do something good in this expansion. And we do know that is essentially leaked that we're going to get elite specializations this expansion, so I'm sure that will help a lot with the sales whenever that one comes out. Now we also have some information about Throne of Liberty. Royalty sales declined 39%, and whenever they say royalty sales, they mean Throne of Liberty, as is the only game they actually earn money from that someone else is publishing, which is Amazon in this case. So it declined 39% due to diminishing impact of Throne of Liberty's global release, but rose 38% yearly, because obviously they released the game, they got a lot of money from that, because now it's on 2 regions, and then it declined again after, you know, the hype was gone. Now, Throne of Liberty got a new expansion very recently, so we're gonna have to see, I guess, in another quarter how that actually does. But it does seem like it's not doing as well as they should, especially after a global release. You would expect the numbers. These are numbers from before the actual release in North America, in the West. These are the numbers with that. It's not even double, so it's a little bit Now this is also the case that it's a free-to-play game, so all of this money is from microtransactions, especially when pay to win is involved, and in Throne of Liberty it definitely is. So I guess it's not bad, but it's definitely not what they were expecting. They were expecting probably a lot more. To also talk about their cost of operation, it seems like overall he has decreased a lot, so even though they are making less money, they're also losing less money, so overall probably a bigger profit, and I'm pretty sure they are profitable right now, which is good for that company. And now we go to the 2026 sale guidance. So this is their plans for next year. Through continued expansion of legacy IPs and new title launches, sales in 2026 are expected to reach Korean 2.0 trillion. Now, This is the money that they made in 2023, 2024. We don't know how much we're going to get in 2025. And then this is the expected of 2026. Now, it's very telling to me that they're not even mentioning 2025. They don't have a projection for 2025 here, probably because they know they're not going to make that much. There's not really that much coming for this company, even though they have a lot of titles coming out this year. They got Blade and Soul that they released a few months ago. Ion 2 is going to release, at least in Korea, and there's all these other games. And a second legacy-based title that we don't know what it is. It hasn't been announced yet, which is super, super interesting. And considering the legacy IPs being Lineage, Ion, Blade and Soul, Throne of Liberty, and Guild Wars, I actually think it's kind of likely for that to be the card game. We know that NCSoft is actually working on this game, and it would not be surprising to me that it gets released this year, especially after the disappointing performance of Janthe Wilds, giving them a little bit more money. You know, them a way of earning that money is going to be very beneficial for them. It could also be next year, but considering the fact that they have a second legacy IP-based title, Guild Wars being an legacy IP for NCSoft, it would definitely not be surprising if it comes out and it's actually this one right here. It could also be the spin-off games that they mentioned here on 2026, or the in-house development that they mentioned right here as a new title, because indeed it is made by NCSoft. It is in-house, but we will have to see. They also talk about diversified live game services, and this is what they mean through continued expansion of legacy IPs. This is most likely going to be a Throne of Liberty expansion, and I'm guessing a Guild Wars 2 expansion as well. We don't have that confirmed, but it would be very surprising to me that we don't get another Guild Wars 2 expansion leading into Guild Wars 3. And yeah, guys, NCSoft is definitely planning on releasing Guild Wars 3. You can see here in 26 plus a global IP-based MMORPG. It sounds very likely to be Guild Wars 3 as well, considering everything. They also have regional expansion. This means obviously an expansion of a game into another region, and it's pretty likely that only means Aeon 2 Global, as Aeon 2 will be released in Korea in Q4. We're gonna get more information about that in. So having that on 2026, yeah, it's gonna be the Western version of Ion 2. Not a really interesting game, especially considering that NCSoft already said that it's gonna be pay to win, at least to some extent. So yeah, not really interested in this one, but it is true, it is coming. We talked about spin-off games. There might be some spin-off games from Lineage as well, as they've been developing them constantly. They also mentioned IP licensing. They've been really going for some external IP publishing games from other IPs from other companies, or making games for these companies, and so on and so on. So this is probably just going to be them trying to make a little bit of money. You can see how many they have actually tried and published right now. Look at this: Animation RPG and TPS. I don't even know what these games ever happened. So we'll have to see, but I would not really put a lot of attention into that. It's mostly just NCSoft trying to make a little more money. Getting a bit more profit to actually bring that boat back, as they've been really struggling through the past few years to actually make money and be profitable. So there you go. Overall, it seems like NCSoft is definitely trying their best to bring their company back with a lot of things. I think for Guild Wars 2 particularly, it really will have to see how this expansion goes out. This one didn't really do well, so I hope that Arena looks at this and be like, okay, what did we do wrong? And I think honestly, if they just focus on open world, if they just focus on what the game does well in story and open world, and don't put a lot of attention into raids, you can do strikes, of course, but just put more content in there. I think it'll be fine, at least until Guild Wars 3 comes out. I'm kind of scared that NCSoft looks at this and is like, no, stop doing Guild Wars 2, or do way less of Guild Wars 2 and finish that Guild Wars 3 game. I hope that doesn't happen, because I want to have content for Guild Wars 2 until Guild Wars 3 happens. But I'm guessing 2027 is going to be the Guild Wars 3 the year. One more, this expansion this year, and one more after that. And I think after that, we're gonna have Guild Wars 3 coming, whether it's early access or the full release. For Throne of Liberty, it's not looking very good. I don't know what NCSoft is going to do. The game has a lot of potential. I actually really like that game, even if it's pay to win. So I hope they find a way to actually make it work. But considering it's NCSoft, I would not put a lot of hope into that, especially after the expansion. I don't think I've heard that much about it, and I don't think I've heard very good things about it either. So we'll have to see. But that's all we have through this Cold Report. Definitely subscribe to the channel so you can see more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live every morning. See you guys around. Love you all. Bye.